What's up, guys? Frank Macaluso from Garageaholic. Welcome to the channel. We have a very special episode today for you. We are going to be installing a lift. That's right behind me. We're going to be putting a second lift in the garage. Don't worry, I'm going to feed you baby birds. We're going to answer the who, the what, the why, and the how. Stand by, guys. You don't want to miss this one. Okay, what is this? What? This is an Atlas Apex 9BP lift. 9,000 pounds, base plate. Base plate means that big blue thing right there along the wall goes across the floor. It is a base plate lift. It is not like an overhead lift that you see with the overhead electronics and pneumatics lifted above that. That would allow this to be a clear floor. This is not a clear floor lift, but the advantage to this is that you have a lower ceiling height, which I do right on that ridge. I cannot get the lift moved over more, so I need to push it as far against the wall as possible, which means that this stanchion has to be right underneath that, which it is. A base plate lift is just fine for this application. So here we are. We have all the parts that we need for this, and we're going to be installing this. This is an ALI certified lift, which is what I'll explain a little bit more in detail, but basically this is a lift that is certified by the American Lift Institute, an independent service contractor that takes and looks at every single weld and tests every lift to at least 1.5 times its operating lift capacity. So if this is 9,000 pounds, it tests it to 13,500. So this is a much better quality lift than you just get like on eBay or something. They sell these on eBay, but they sell them for half the price for the non-ALI certified lift. And I'll show you the ALI sticker that's on this that basically proves that this particular exact lift itself, as you see here, was inspected before it shipped out of the facility for the highest standards of safety. Very, very important when you buy a lift. So we have all of our parts here. We have our pump and our reservoir. We have these things are like our lift pieces that basically allow you to use like a truck or something like that if you want to lift higher for a truck. You have your 4 arms and your steps for that. You have your cabling. You have all your hardware. This is, again, like I said, the base plate that goes in between the lifts on the floor. And this here are each of your 2 lift columns. The cylinders are inside of them. And that's it. So what I need to do now is basically bring them up, and that is the how. Let's talk about how to install this and what I plan to do to install this entire lift in this bag. I'm 37 years old. I can push these up. I can lift them up. Once you lift them up, it's not that hard. All you need to do is just walk them around. So let's lift this one up first and just do it. Okay, here we go. One, 2, 3. Oh, this ain't that bad. This ain't that bad. Perfect. Easy. And just like that. Let's take this guy. Move this over. Oh, this is freaking heavy. Ready? Set. Go. Cool. This guy's basically going to be living right here. Actually, more like right there. And the other one is going to be moving over here. That might be it. How does it look? It'll work. All right, so it looks like I have both of the columns basically set where I want them to be. Taking a look at the stickers on here, I can see that there is an ALI certification, which is exactly what I paid for when I bought this lift, is I want it to be certified. This specific lift is certified. This particular piece of equipment is certified, and the model as well, but this lift has been inspected by the American Lift Institute, which basically takes a look at every single weld. They load it, they do all this great stuff to it, and make sure that it's perfect, and that it will withstand anything that you hold up to it, up to the 9,000 pounds that it's rated for. This lift is also ALI certified as well, and it has a sticker on it. So that's really, really good news. So let's go and start working on some time lapses for the install and following the instructions verbatim. Very, very important. All right, so I measured the distance between the columns, the distance between the holes. I cross-measured to make sure that everything was straight and true, and I think that these columns are exactly now where I want them to be. So I have two drill bits. I have a D10, which is basically 3/8 inch, and I also have a D19, which is essentially a 3/4 inch. There's 6 on this side, 6 on that side that go directly into the concrete. You gotta make sure that your concrete is at least 3,000 PSI and 6 inches thick. So since I read online that you can't go directly in with a 3/4 inch masonry bit, I'm gonna start off with the 3/8, and I'm gonna basically drill them all through, and then I'm gonna widen the holes with the 3/4 later. So I've got everything set. I marked them where I want them. I'm gonna start drilling. I wanna show you, this is the 3/4 inch. And essentially I've marked with a piece of electrical tape where the 6 inches is. I need to drill at least 6 inches deep for the anchors to hold the lift down. So I've taped a little bit with some electrical tape that's gonna identify exactly when I get to that depth without actually having to measure every single time. Doesn't seem like I moved anything as I was drilling. I didn't really hit the blue base plate as I was drilling. I haven't punched them down yet because I still need to shim them, but this guy is basically ready to go. Now let's shim it, and then let's start hammering them down and making sure that everything is level and straight and true, and then we'll start torquing them down. What I did do is I found some 7 degree shims, and basically just put it under there and hammered it away, and now I got this thing nice and lined up compared to the other lift. Like look at this, look at that right there. Kind of looks really even, right? It's exactly kind of what it really should look like. You really don't want these two columns to start bending into each other. So, I mean, that's very dangerous, to say the least. But I got all 6 of these 3/4 inch anchors torqued to 100 foot-pounds. I got all these guys torqued to 100 foot-pounds. And now I want to let them sit overnight. I want to retorque them again to a higher torque value. I believe it's 150, which I think that I'll get no problem. I'm not really too worried about any of that. But let's let this set overnight and get back to the next thing. Equalizer cables are installed on both ends here. That guy has them on, as well as this. You basically tighten this down and torque them down so that you have the same amount of tension. The tension you want on this cable is just enough so you can barely touch them with your fingers together while these are sitting on the locks. And this is exactly the same amount of tension, just barely touches them while it's on the locks. So now that we've got that done, we can now start working on installing this and the hydraulic lines that also connect underneath what will go underneath that blue base plate right there. Moving right along, the hydraulic lines are routed from here down through here into the first cylinder, and then from the first cylinder also has a cross hydraulic line that goes to the second cylinder. it's now time to install the base plate, which is pretty easy. I mean, it's just using the 4 anchors here and the masonry bit that we used before to drill our pilot holes for the columns, and then that's it. Then it's on. And then we got to install the arms. So let's do the base plate. Looks so nice, nice and clean. Everything is installed. Everything is tuned, torqued, ready to go. All we need now is to fill up with our fluid. Yes, I did some electric work. I'm not proud of this. In fact, you should hire an electrician to do this, and I will. I just want to get it cycled up and down. I want to make sure that this thing can work correctly. So this is a cob job right now, but it will be done professionally in not even a week's time. But I'm using a fluid transfer pump to install the AW32 fluid. It takes about 10 liters at first. You can see I started kind of filling up already. And then, you know, once you get it up about 10 liters or right around here, that's when you start cycling it up and down, and then you kind of get the air out of the cylinders, and then you'll know that you're in good shape. So yes, now you can see it works. You didn't hear it, but I'll show you later. As you go, as both of the columns were going up, you can hear both of the clicking of the safeties at the exact same time every step of the way. There's very little AW32 left in the container, so it's all in the cylinders, and you can hear it as it's going up to let all that air out. Now it's resting on the safeties, and the safeties are let out by pulling this on each side, right? So basically you have to let the lift up. I'll show you right now actually. So you basically push it up, right? And then you pull a safety here, pull a safety there, and then you just press that and it's just going down. Now the downtime takes a while because, well, there's no weight on it, so that does make you know, it just takes longer to go down, but it will. And when it does, we're going to cycle it all the way back up, and we're going to try it again. Okay, now that the lift is ready to go, let's put a car on it and see if it handles the strength. Now let me tell you, I retorqued everything, I checked everything, I cycled the lift up and down probably about 4 or 5 times, and everything checks out perfectly per the manual. So please check your manual before you ever think about putting a car on this. I think that I'm gonna be good here, but I wanna see just to be sure. Well, that's too low. Let's try another car. All right, let's try a different car. Perhaps something a little bit more conservative. And I will tell you this, it does feel weird to watch another car on a lift right next to this one. It's kind of weird. But I think it's a really good use of space. So that leads me to the why.
Why?
Why did I get another lift? Yes, it was a few grand, but it seems like I'm gonna have enough space to do what I need to do. Typically for the longer term projects, like this E24 LT1 behind me, it's going to take a lot of the lift time in order to position the engine. I'm gonna be going up and down, the car's not gonna be mobile. So that's really gonna monopolize my lift most of the time that this car is in progress. Which means that if I have to do service on my cars or my increasing number of customer requests, I really wanted to make sure that I had the capability to do that. And I already have jobs lined up, so that allows me to break even on this lift within the first 6 months. So it seemed to me like it was a no-brainer to get another lift, put it in. I have the height that I need, I have the power that I need, and I have the location and room that I need. So why not? So that's it, guys. The Atlas 9K BP. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you have any questions about the lift or any questions about anything about where it came from or anything like that, take a look at the link below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get back to the E24.